If you don't yet have a UE email address or ID, you'll not be able to access and create Blackboard Collaborate sessions directly. A colleague will need to create a session for you and invite you to the session with a guest link. They then need to promote you as a presenter or moderator in the session. If you already have a UE email ID, you can access your Blackboard programs and modules. To find Blackboard Collaborate, go to your program or module, go to the Course Management tab in the left-hand navigation pane. Click on the Course Tools to expand the menu. As you scroll down, you'll find Blackboard Collaborate Ultra at 5th or 6th down the list. Click on it and it should open your Collaborate Rooms and Sessions list page. When you open Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, you can see the course room as here in my test course. I've got it set to unlocked, so it's an open room, meaning it's always available. If this was in a teaching course, it could be used for regular meetups at particular times or spontaneous sessions. You can also create specific sessions. I've got a list below create sessions of previously made ones. All of these are open-ended as they're regular workshops or meetings. To create a specific session, click on Create a Session. The event details opens on the right-hand side of the screen. Give your session a name. Next item is a tick box for whether or not you want guest access to your session. Guest links are public links and can be shared inappropriately, so please do not check this checkbox for guest access. Only use this if you will have an external to UE guest for the session. In this case, I recommend that you keep guest role as participant. You can always change someone's status in a session if they need to present or contribute. This generates a guest link. We recommend that you do not use the guest link as a way to invite students to your session. Encourage them to join the sessions from their module by accessing Collaborate through Blackboard. The benefits of this include My Attendance logging and protection from issues due to inappropriate levels of access to your sessions by students, and therefore potential disruption. You can set the start date and time for your session and an end time for your session. Be warned though, if you are likely to overrun the time you've set, as this will auto-stop the session. I generally leave mine as open-ended and then close the session when I'm ready. You can set how early participants can join the session, and this is useful for new users of Collaborate. 30 minutes before the session allows everyone to get their technology sorted out and to orient themselves in the virtual learning space. There's a second tab within this panel, which is the Session Settings. This is where you set the default attendee role. By default, this is set to participant. Leave that as participant. Next, you have the option to allow recording downloads and anonymized chat messages. For both pedagogical and accessibility reasons, I'd recommend that for teaching sessions, you allow recording downloads. However, if there's any sensitive GDPR or copyright issues, seek advice from your team lead, library services, and TEL teams. You can set the participant level permissions so that they can share audio and show video and post chat messages. You may want to uncheck Draw on the whiteboard and files. You can enable that during the session when you want to. Then you have full control over that, and people can't randomly draw over your slides during this session. If you've used the guest link, this can be one of the issues because you don't know who's doing it. This is why we recommend you encourage students to access through their Blackboard module. You can enable private chat. Again, recommend generally you don't enable private chat. If you do opt to moderate it, it means you spend your time supervising private chats at the same time as running your session. This is where you set to do large-scale sessions of 250 plus attendees. If you're likely to be presenting to such large groups, talk to your program lead and to your learning technologies teams. Finally, you also have the option for a profanity filter in chat messages, which may be worth checking, particularly with new cohorts where you don't know your students yet. Once you've done all of that, you hit Create Session at the bottom of the panel. It should then show up in the list of created sessions below the Create Session button in the main window. You can then click on that session link at any time to edit it. If you want to upload slides and shared files in preparation for a session you've created, you can add them well before so that they'll be available to share in the live session. If you are responsible for managing content in a Blackboard course, make it easy for your students and yourself. Add your session link to a Blackboard course menu or a particular content area, particularly useful for repeat and regular sessions. To do this, make sure Edit mode is on. To add a link in a content area, open the Tools menu, click More Tools to reveal the Additional menu, and select Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. To add a direct link for the session to the Course menu, for example, a regular seminar session or tutorial, click on the plus icon and select Tool Link from the drop-down. Type in the name, set the type as Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, and tick the box to make it available to users, and then click Submit. Click on either link to go to the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra Sessions page to create your session. Click Create Session. You will come to the Event Details page where you need to enter information about the session type, give the session a name, and make sure that the names of the sessions are clear to students, so related to topics, seminars, assessments, reviews, etc. If it's a recurring session, you can set the frequency and number of instances. Once saved, if you need to delete an instance, click the session folder to expand it, select that session, then the 3 dots breadcrumb menu by the session name to get the option to delete it. Once you've recorded your session, you'll want to find it afterwards. Go back to the Create Sessions page where all your sessions are listed. You'll see a little burger menu, that's 3 horizontal lines located in the top right of the Sessions window. Click on that menu. You can see we're already in the Sessions page. Come down to the item Recordings. It's showing that I have no recordings in the past 30 days. This is true. However, I do have recordings. Just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. So click Recent Recordings in the top right, select Recordings in Arrange, and then go back far enough that you know you've made recordings. Okay, I've made 1 recording since May in Blackboard Collaborate. There it is, so you can then access that recording. You can choose to watch it now. This is also how your students can view it. If you've enabled in Setup Sessions for recording to be downloaded, they can do that too from this menu, as can you. You can also copy a link to share access to it. Post the session, you can change most of the recording settings, except for guest access and the plus 250 participants, which must be set when you're creating the session.